everyone.
Yeah.
And Steph's
Excellent
Monster
adventure.
Hi.
We've taken it up a notch now. We're
Yeah.
hunting for monsters.
Yes.
Now this particular Boggy Creek
Yeah,
monster
let's
is,
give you some history.
yeah.
We're in Fouke, Arkansas.
which is just a short drive down from Texarkana.
Yeah, which
And
is where we're staying currently.
we would have stayed here, but there's no parks here. So you have to stay in Texarkana if you want to come to Fouke, which is just over the border down the street,
it's
20
about
minutes.
15, 20 minutes. And so we've come into Arkansas, and we are kind of monster nerds, and we love stories about local monsters and history and Sasquatch, etc.
Especially being from the Pacific Northwest, where we've been living for a number of years.
Yeah.
Where, there's so many Bigfoot sightings there, and most people in the Pacific Northwest, I think, believe it.
For sure.
And
yeah.
we're neither believers or non-believers, so we just don't know. But we think it's possible that there could be a Bigfoot type monster hiding anywhere in this country, because as we've traveled, all we see is, if we're not in the desert, woods. Woods.
Yeah.
In fact, the populations really cluster around little areas, and the rest of the country's wide open, so who knows what's out there.
Right. So we are down in Fouke, Arkansas, and this is the Monster Mart behind us. It became famous. They started the Monster Mart after the 1972 movie, The Legend of Boggy Creek.
You guys seen that movie? Now this is not exactly a huge cinematic thing, but it has a huge cult following.
Yeah, and we watched it just to get knowledge, and we did also other videos on this and sighting videos.
And it had just $160,000 budget, so it wasn't definitely not an A movie. It wasn't a B movie. I think it might have been closer to a C movie. They used a lot of local actors.
They used local people in town that have sighted the monster, and they used them as actors in the movie, which makes it extra cool.
Yeah, so again, I don't know if you've seen that movie, but you should check it out. And these sightings actually occurred back in the 1800s.
Yeah, they called
by Native Americans.
Yeah, what were they calling? The Wild Hairy Man.
Yeah.
The movie was made in 1972 here, and this town now revolves around the history of this monster. And the Monster Mart was started, and it's actually a museum that offers history into the monster, and it has footprint casts and other newspaper articles, etc. And unfortunately, we came on a Sunday, and they're closed.
It's the only time we can really be here because we're off to Graceland tomorrow, so this is going to have to suffice our visit to the town.
Yeah, we're going to check out some of the local spots and see if we can see the Fouke, the Boggy Creek Monster.
And we have a sort of map that shows where the sightings occurred, and we're going to go check those out and everything. So wouldn't that be a hoot if we actually saw it, documented it, and we became the people that discovered Bigfoot? Because they're all the same thing, really, right?
For
I mean,
sure.
they're all the same. He's said to stand 7 to 8 feet tall.
Yep.
Big hairy bastard.
Yeah, they describe him as having red, coarse hair, and they say his eyes glow red at night. And there are still sightings to this very day here.
And there's researchers that still come here and try to figure this out, because there's so many witnesses have seen this, and a lot of them are very credible that they can't really dispel it. They can't say it's not real.
So let's go check this out.
And if we see anything, or if we're not heard of, again, and they just find this camera, you know those movies where they just find the camera on the
like
ground?
that Blair Witch Project.
Yeah. And remember, we didn't disappear on purpose. It took us.
Oh, man.
Dun, dun, dun.
So the monster is so prevalent here in this town, and life revolves around the sightings.
It's only 800 people in this town, isn't that right? It's a small town.
Yeah. They actually have their Fouke Monster Festival every year on June 18th, and we're just missing it. But wow, that would have been super cool. The whole town celebrates the monster and the sightings. So if you're down here June 18th every year, Monster
What does
Festival.
the festival entail? Is it a parade or?
I don't know.
Bigfoot pie?
They do it up good though. They have a calendar of events, so.
Brings everybody in here.
So yeah, check it out if you're around town during June 18th.
Have you ever been to Arkansas, Stephanie?
I have not.
I
It's
have
our
not.
first time here.
Yeah. So we should have some cousins here maybe or something.
Doesn't everyone?
Yeah.
Boom.
Right.
Okay, here we go.
Let's go find this monster, fellas.
Here is a look inside, and they do have a museum of artifacts about the Boggy Creek Monster. We're so bummed it's closed today. He's actually supposed to be much taller than that.
You clearly see I'm well over 6 feet.
No, he's not.
Approximately 6'8".
Oh, sure. Like I said, the businesses around here all are in the monster theme. That's called the Monster Activity Center. And this business is called the Boggy Creek Cafe. So we were just in Fouke General Store, and the owner was there with his high school age son and a nice friendly lady named Laura, and they were actually giving us some history. They weren't comfortable about being on video, but they actually, the owner, the gentleman, has past family relations that have seen the monster, and they're a noted site, their farm, of where the Boggy Creek Monster was actually seen. And they said they actually know the gentleman, Mr. Scoggins, who was interviewed previously, and he said that they had footprints around his barn, and that they also had areas in the hayloft of the barn where the animal was sleeping for a while. So it's pretty interesting. Everyone around here seems to know a little bit about it, and it's just fun to talk to them and get these old stories and folklore on it. You can see that this area is a lot of dense woods, and so there would definitely be places for the Boggy Creek Monster to be and not be seen. This is Boggy Creek. It's about a mile from the town, and this is the exact spot of the sighting, the famous sighting, why the monster's called the Legend of Boggy Creek. Supposedly it came out of the woods right here, and a local saw it. This sighting was right off Highway 71, and this is the other side of Boggy Creek. And a lot of the sightings from the locals have been near this creek. This might be the monster's water source, or it can hide easily with all of the trees around. We are now at the Sulphur River boat launch off of Highway 71. It's about 9 miles south of the town of Fouke. The Sulphur River has been a hot spot of sightings for the Boggy Creek Monster, and they're still having sightings most recently along this river. The only wildlife we've seen today are a bunch of snapping turtles, it looks like.
Hello? Hello? Nothing.
Wouldn't you just be amazed if something actually answered you back?
That'd be awesome.
Try it again, honey.
Hello? Hello? Nothing. Listen to all the weird sounds though.
Yeah. You can see the turtles on that log out there. There's only one right now, but when we walked up, there was at least 6 or 7 or 8 even. They all jumped back into the water.
Now there could be a Boggy Creek Monster in there for sure.
I don't see why not.
Yeah. It is creepy.
For sure.
Well, Stephanie, after an extensive day of research here at Boggy Creek.
Oh, brother, Boggy.
Yeah, Boggy.
Monster Research, right here.
Boggy Research Institute. We've turned up nothing so far.
No, but there are lots of extremely boggy areas and lots of dense trees and rivers and creeks, and it seems like the perfect place to have a Boggy Creek Monster sighting if you were to have one.
Or a
Wouldn't you say?
Boggy Creek adventure.
Yeah.
Well, anything could live in these woods. I mean, who goes out in
It
this?
is
I mean,
very dense.
this bog behind us, I wouldn't even go into that for any amount of money.
No, it's very green and creepy looking.
And this thing's moving around in that water.
For sure. Well, we hope you enjoyed our adventure, and if you're down in this area, check out Fouke.
Yeah.
And the Monster Mart looks amazing, and we're totally bummed we couldn't go in there. So if you get a chance, let us know if you've been in there or get to go in there. We'd love to hear more about it. And we heard it's really cool. And they have evidence and casts and stuff of footprints. And that was something that we're really bummed we didn't get to see.
Yeah, yeah. And if you get
Maybe
a chance,
next time.
if you get a chance, just come down to this town because they love to have some visitors come through here.
Yeah,
for sure.
And talk about it, and they all know the legends and stories.
Yeah. You know what other legend I know about?
What?
The legend of Elvis Presley,
Ooh,
which is where we're heading next, Graceland.
yeah. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Thank you very much.
The King.
Jeff?
And Steph's
Excellent.
Monster
Adventure. Oh yeah.
Take care and safe travels, guys.
See you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.